10 people arrested in connection with a spike in violent crime in Atlanta. 2 more are still wanted tonight. Investigators calling them some of the most dangerous offenders in the entire city. And with their arrests, crime is dropping. Joe Hankey has more.
10 defendants in custody, some facing federal charges, others facing state charges in Fulton County. Today, the FBI publicly identified these 10 individuals as being arrested over the past 10 weeks during an ongoing local, state, and federal operation known as Operation Phoenix. Some are charged with assault, others attempted murder, some are charged with drug, firearms, or gang-related crimes.
These individuals were repeat violent offenders, that there was some nexus with them and violence. And we deemed them to be responsible for some of the most violent crimes in the city of Atlanta.
2 suspects still wanted as part of the operation are Jamal Nickel and Demario Leaf. During a press conference today, law enforcement officials said around May, crime began to increase in Atlanta as the city began to reopen following COVID-19 closures, and crime also increased around protests and civil unrest.
There was aspects of social gatherings and ad hoc social gatherings that contributed to these types of crimes. So it coincided with people gathering up around street racing. We had a shooting during that time as well. And so that's when we started to see it. And July was really the pinnacle.
APD Interim Police Chief Rodney Bryant says in July alone there were 24 homicides. As of Wednesday, there have been 117 homicides in the city so far this year, compared to 99 in all of 2019. APD says the men arrested and 2 still wanted are connected by the crimes committed, with several linked to gangs. And during this afternoon's press conference, law enforcement officials said since arrests began as part of this operation, violent crime in the city of Atlanta has begun to drop off. And they said this is an ongoing operation with more arrests expected.